Now the dodge, burn, and smudge tools are really icons from the wet process days when we used to put the negative in an enlarger and project it down onto the paper and then develop the paper wet process. Those were the processes that were responsible for brightening or darkening different areas of the image. And parenthetically, let me say that some of the best images in the world from Ansel Adams were done with this process. In fact, he had one image that it took him 100 times printing an image, dodging and burning in order to get it the way he wanted it. So this process goes a long way back, and I think the developers in Photoshop put it in here just to give the people who were making the transition between wet process and digital a little bit of an easier transition, because really these don't get used a whole lot. Maybe in fashion touch-up they're used quite a bit. The smudge tool I know can be used up here sometimes. Dodge, burn, and sponge are relics. But let's take a look at what they do. The dodge tool will brighten, and I'm going to click on it, and you can see how it's brightening right there. And maybe a use for it would be to come in and just brighten this area down here. But there are other ways to do it. This really works off of a brightness algorithm, and I don't like the brightness algorithm. It doesn't give you as much control over the result. Now the next one down, of course, is the burn tool, and it does the exact opposite of the dodge tool. It makes things darker. And if we swipe this area here, you can see the change before and after. I had to crop this image just a little bit, so we'll just take that as the before and after and before. Now the next one down is the sponge tool, and this one has a little bit of a mainstream use because we can desaturate or saturate different areas of the image very effectively. Let's go ahead and saturate, for instance, this area here in the trees. This was taken just a little bit late in the fall season, and we'll enlarge it with the right bracket key, and let's leave it at 50% flow and see what happens. And we want vibrance up here because we want to bring out a little drama in these areas here of the yellow, what's left of the yellow in these cottonwood trees over here, and maybe a little bit of red left over there, a little bit of green. And I want to punch these colors a little bit because this shot was taken so late in the fall season. It doesn't have a lot of natural saturation. I don't want to touch the blue. The sky looks great. I want to contrast. I want the eye to focus on the foliage, not the sky. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on. Now, we also have to wipe the reflection down here, but not quite as frequently as the above water or the main image. We just want that reflection to just give us a hint of what reality is. And I'm going to take that last swipe off because I think it was too much. But there you can see part of the functionality of the sponge tool. Now we can also desaturate, which, as you can imagine, would be the reverse. We can come around and take some of the saturation out of these trees, also out of the reflection. So it's very straightforward, not hard to understand at all. And if you have very specific areas of the image that you very quickly want to take care of without expecting a whole lot out of it, then of course come in and use these tools. But again, to brighten or darken different areas of the image, there are other ways that give you much more control.